I always think it's funny how it like does a countdown for me on going live, which is super helpful. But then it also sometimes will say, "Oh, we can't do it yet. Your connection is too slow," which is not good. So, like, yeah. Anyways, that's kind of a good lead-in. Welcome to episode 53 of me cooking in my kitchen and hopefully not burning the place down. Today we're gonna work on some loin lamb chops. Gonna kind of jump right into it because I don't know really what to do today. I kind of know what to do today, but I don't really know what to do today. I had to Google today's recipe. I had a very, not funny moment, but I had a moment today that officially that made me go, okay, that makes sense. I stood in, actually, because generally what I do is I don't like to go to the store without having, an idea of what I want to do or have for dinner. And I legitimately was on my couch today going, what do I want to make? Like, is there something I actually want to make today? Because you all know that I, have the diet of a 5-year-old, but also I do eat out. Well, I should say I do a lot of takeout. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Hey, is this going to work? Kinda. Nice. So I legitimately sat today and I'm like, what do I want to eat? And for a minute I thought about doing eggs, like scrambled eggs, but then I realized I don't really want to do that today. That would take too much work and I don't really want to work for this today. So I decided against that and I decided let's go back to meat. I thought about, here's a really bad pun. I thought about having fashion sense and getting a skirt steak, but I decided against that. And that I've done some kind of lamb chops before, but not this style. So I'm curious to see how this differs. Because I did some a few weeks ago, I think. Because I made a joke about the TV show. I'm pretty sure someone can, double check on that one, but I'm pretty sure I've done something like this before. I just don't remember it. And so we'll figure it out. Probably together. Let me not talk while I cut things. Okay, cool. So, one of the things, what was I going to say? I actually had a good list of things to talk with y'all about today. And is this the potato one? Yeah, we're going to go light on the seasoning today. I know, that's like a cam special, isn't it? I'm going to do this part first, because I have not figured out a way to set up my air fryer to where it doesn't spray air all over the smoke of the skillet. Okay, we're not going to do a ton of seasoning on this today, which, again, shockingly coming from me, right? If you did watch last week's episode, whether here or on YouTube, I thank you for your continued support. And please, as always, forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I do have a question, though, and this is kind of a joke leading from that. Oh, nice sound. What an attractive sound. When, so good. When do you consider something to be old? Like, so, the reason I'm asking is I have a car, which is awesome, and I love it. I've had it for a month. when do you consider something to be old? So when is it no longer a new car? When is it no longer a new pair of shoes? When is it no longer Gatorade break? X, Y, or Z, you know? When is it... when does it no longer count as being new? I'm curious, A, there's a rule for this that I don't know. And B, if there's not, what is your rule about it? Because obviously some things can look brand new, but it sometimes also depends on how well you take care of them. So I'm curious about what, if there is a standard, or we're going to let this heat up for a minute, or if there's not a standard, what you would call new still. So by the way, last week's stuff went off pretty well. I didn't burn it. The pizza, I should say, went off pretty well. I didn't burn it, which is a huge plus. But I also figured out I want to try something a little more, I don't want to say extravagant with it, but I would like to go a little more, what's the phrase? I don't want to say elegant, because I know that's not the word either, but there's something I'd like to try different with it next time with the pizza, but we'll see. I heard this recently, and I think it's so disgusting. There's a pizza place that's partnering with Spider-Man, or Marvel, for the release of Spider-Man. And in the release of this, they have made a Weberoni pizza, which are just strips of pepperoni placed on the pizza. And I'm like, that? And it's kind of cute, and also kind of, no, I never want to see that again. So, I will not be getting it. Also, I don't do pepperoni on pizza. I was raised partially by vegetarians. And the one thing we can never do on pizza was pepperoni. It actually took me a while to try anything else on there, but I never did pepperoni on pizza. It took me ages to try anything else in general, just because I like... Yeah, by the way, Chips Ahoy cookies. We'll move over here. I just like plain old cheese pizza. I think that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, like, I've done chicken, I've done bacon, I've done peppers, banana peppers are really good, actually. I did chicken and banana peppers for a while. I've done steak with banana peppers, because I like the kick on it, but also green peppers are great. So, I might try to make it fancy, but also just the whole pepperoni thing, or the pepperoni. Like, you guys, it's cute, but I will not be partaking in that. Next fun thing, for those of you who have been living under a rock for the past while, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got married. Yes, I'm going to be talking about that today because I am a fan of them. Because I love love, and why not? Depending on the rumors you've heard about things, and the not rumors you've heard about things, they got married earlier in June. They got married on the 13th because that's her favorite number. They got married on the 26th because of whatever. We're going to see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe if I can snap this correctly. This might be a little bit too bony. I generally don't like putting bones on, having bones in my food. Crazy as that sounds. Here's the salt. Yeah, I probably should have cut some of this off here. Oh well. That's a theory how I was going for. Oh well. But I think my favorite is someone said in a post, hey, let us have this. This is like the Princess Diana wedding, which I found to be incredibly accurate. And for those of you who weren't alive for the Princess Diana wedding, it was I don't want to say over the top, but it was over the top. It was dramatic. It was like the biggest thing in the world. Literally. For many reasons, it was groundbreaking. Yeah. Should have cut that. Oh well. I can still cut that. I in fact can do that. Yeah, let's, oh, yeah. Can I work magic for a second? Oh, I think I can. I don't like eating meat with bones in it. Okay? Let's all just agree that that's an okay thing. You could say, but it makes it more natural. I don't care. I don't want to eat meat with bones in it. Not a fan of that. You also could say, Cam, you have a knife right there. Actually, I do, but I want to use that knife to cut broccoli. I could also wash it. You are probably thinking that, and you are correct, but I don't want to do that. I should have probably got an Acres knife. That's okay, though. Yeah, we're going to use this to cut that. I'm just not a fan of, like, bone-in things. And for anyone who gets at me about that, I don't really care. I'm not a fan of eating things with a bone in them. And if that doesn't make me a true carnivore, I will live with that. Also, something else that I found funny was the people that are complaining about, yes, I know you're going off right now, that are complaining about how big of a deal the wedding is. I would like to ask, did you freak out when the British wedding happened a couple of years ago? Because that's basically what this is for us. So, okay, we're gonna, that'll stay over there, this will stay over here. I make better choices in my life, I can absolutely agree with that. If it's just not gonna go well, y'all. And that's okay. Because this is a comedy of cooking errors, not me being perfect in the kitchen. Alright, so there's that. Also, I don't know how much food this is actually going to make me at this point tonight. I might be a little bit low on the food, which is okay because I have 2 cookies tonight, and I can always order pizza. I feel like someone's already like put their palm into their fist, being like, "Damn, what are you doing?" The reason why I don't enjoy having bones in my food is, I used to work at a meat place, and whenever bones would click, I would legitimately, like, gag and flinch, and I believe it's part of the whole primordial thing of, like, if you know what trypophobia is, which I have, not a fun time at all, about 1/3 of the population has trypophobia, and it is an unnatural and irregular pattern of concentric circles in nature. And what that means is literally, like, you get weirded out by holes in nature. And I have it, and it's not fun. And whenever I encounter that, it is a terrible time. Okay, yeah, someone's going to get mad at me for doing this, but whatever. I don't want to eat this part. And because it's my show, I can do that. Which means this is going to be like one of those 5-star ritzy restaurants in New York where it's literally that big of food. I just remembered also we usually use that one because the smoke generally tends to go this way, but it's going that way tonight, which is awesome. Other thing we gotta talk about. Now, when I say this, no one get mad at me, because I can feel someone in the comments is actually going to get angry at me. After over a decade, I finally watched Hamilton last night. Did I know about its existence for the past decade? Yes, I did. Excuse me. Do I know most of the songs? Not by heart, but yes. I just never watched it. And I finally got around to watching the Disney Plus, not affiliated, not sponsored, edition of the Broadway show. And as someone who grew up in theater, I was really impressed by it. I mean, obviously it was a Broadway musical. It was a Broadway, so Broadway. But I was very impressed by. I grew up in more, I don't want to say the traditional sense of it, but like, I think that's the best way to say it, is I grew up with a more traditional musical theater style of, you know, the song lasts for 5 minutes and it's the highlight of the scene, but, you know, like, I don't want to say a normal musical, but like a normal musical. And then this one, I think it was maybe 5 words were not said to music. Everything else was said to a musical beat, which I literally kept like going, oh, they're doing another, it's another, And I was very happy, but also very surprised that there was very few words that were spoken to music. Because, you know, also if you grew up Disney, you know that, like, when you grew up with a summer Disney movie, it would be, again, like 10 minutes of film, 7 minutes of film, a song. 10 minutes of film, a song. 10 minutes of film, a song. And the fact that the songs just kept coming, I was very pleasantly surprised by that statement. Turn over that baby. I was very happy with that. I did not expect that, and I was like, oh, nice. Okay, I'm gonna possibly choke again. Let's see what the temperature is for these right now. What do you say? It is in my kitchen. It is not that temperature. It is 76.6. I can live with that. That's 138. That is much higher than 138. Yeah, I did this wrong tonight. Oh well. That's okay. We are going to get a plate out. And, oh, it's not too foggy in here yet. It's getting there, but not there yet. We're going to put these on here. I'm going to figure out a better way than that. Because, again, we don't want to fill it on sides like I tend to do in the past. I'm going to turn this off also. We got 60 seconds, excuse me, on that. So I'm going to put this in here. No one reminded me, and that's okay. But I'm going to turn off my thermometer. Because apparently I like to keep that open quite a bit. Could you come off? Maybe? Question mark? And next time I do this, which will be sometime down the road, I will cut the bone off before I start this. No one hate me in the comments for being wasteful. I just don't enjoy eating bone. Call me crazy on that one. We'll go with this one. Yeah. I think it'll work. So, thanks for joining me for another episode. It's never perfect, and that's okay because we are a learning experience. Cool. I cannot put my plate on that burner, even though I kind of want to. Let's turn this off first. It is off. How do I do this? I'll do it over here. Yeah. I can move something over here. I'll move this over here. I'm smart like that, y'all. I'm smart like that. Right. Also, we're going to figure out, do I actually like lamb? Because I don't know if I like lamb. And then I will probably do scrambled egg next week. I just did not have the care, the time, or the want to do it today. Or I might do a fashion statement next week with a skirt steak. Who knows? I know, my puns are just so great, aren't they? Alright. Thank you for joining me for dinner tonight, and I will see you on the next episode.